Penguin Random House
Penguin.
audio.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's funny. I think penguins are so cute.
That's the name of the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Look at the old tuxedo.
Penguin Random House audio presents A Woman First. First Woman.
Damn
A memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gary,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be quiet because I'm trying to get this read.
I'm going to be very quiet, very quiet.
A Woman First. First Woman. A memoir by President Selina Meyer. Also read by President Selina Meyer.
I really loved that.
For Richard Splett, the only person who...
So tired. I really did not get enough sleep last night.
The mic picked all of that up.
What? No.
Now what?
You read the book.
Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like a few pages? No? Oh, a few chapters?
The whole thing.
That's hilarious.
I know.
I'm going to sit here and read the whole book like some shitty stand-up comic.
Or the world's best stand-up comic.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Okay. The publisher
No.
says you have to or they will sue.
What? No.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No.
No. Mm-mm. No.
Why do I have to read it anyway? What
I
is this
know.
for?
I know.
What are you talking about?
It's called an audiobook, and people like listening to a book rather than reading a book.
I'll bet they do.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Christ.
Right?
Education in this country has really gone down the crapper. Everyone is illiterate now.
Yep.
They're all listening to books. They're not reading books anymore.
Yep. Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, I'm not. I'm not. Not at all.
I just...
Maybe we should just get
One
started.
stupid bumfuck after another. All right, let's
know.
just begin it, I
I
guess.
know, this is going to be a nightmare.
Author's note. Welcome.
Welcome.
No. I say it. You don't. I'm talking. You need to be quiet, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Welcome. I'm so pleased that you have purchased this book. I hope that you have as much fun reading it as I had writing it. Before we get started, I'd like to issue a few caveats and establish some ground rules. As we know, all great literature was written quickly. There is simply no way that incredibly long books like War and Peace, Crime and Punishment, or Madame Bovary could have been written over one person's lifetime, not to mention along with a lot of other books. Were they not written fast? In writing this book, I've attempted to follow in that great tradition. While those justifiably well-regarded books are fiction, mine is something completely different. Fact. But it is a special kind of fact that bears a bit of explanation. Because there is a trade-off between capturing the particular feel of a moment in time, especially when one is, quote, on a roll, and being scrupulously, tediously accurate, I have chosen to try to tell you the, quote, larger truth of what my impression was about what happened, when it happened, why it happened, where it happened, how it happened, and who it happened to. If there are errors or omissions, I am sure that they are trivial, and I will endeavor to correct them for the paperback and international editions or else in another book. It would, of course, be deeply inappropriate for a president to write the official history of her, or his, own presidency due to the tendency of our human natures to ignore uncomfortable, inconvenient, and unflattering truths. So do not think for a moment that this book purports to be an official critical biography. However, I have done my best to face the facts about myself, and I offer myself up to the reader with nothing hidden, and as I really am, not as I might always wish to be. Asterisks. I think the work of future... Okay, so this is not something I'm going to read. So somebody else is going to have to read the footnotes here, because I don't have time for this. Bullshit.
Footnote. I think the work of future historians would also be taken with a grain of salt, since third parties aren't necessarily any more reliable than the subject of books themselves. A lot of people have a lot of agendas and are out to get other people. Never forget that.
Finally, in attempting to offer you, quote, Selina unadorned, end quote, I have included a certain amount of frank talk. I think you will find that though there is some very occasional coarse language, it is never used gratuitously and has been employed sparingly in the interest of reporting a sentiment accurately and when there were no other viable options. Nevertheless, since this book is intended for a family audience, now what is this Christ cross sign? Is that also a footnote then? It is. All right. Why don't we just have it be another star? I'm not sure I understand that logic. Okay, so Gary's going to fucking read this. I don't have time.
Cross. Children are our future.
Children are our future. Okay, whatever. I have removed key vowels from the words in question so that the adult readers may experience my account with warts and all, while children will be left with a more sanitized, age-appropriate impression, along with perhaps some awkward questions for their parents and teachers. So enjoy. I envy you the journey you're about to take through my life. I only wish I could do it all again myself and maybe change just one or two little things. See if you can guess what they are. Prologue. From the moment I entered the White House. Okay, so we have a typo, and I don't know if anyone is editing this book, but someone should have caught that. It's not for me to catch on an audio recording. I mean, honestly, it's the first sentence. Morons. I'm surrounded by morons. All right. Prologue. From the moment I entered the White House, I felt like I was quite literally stepping into history. Not simply the history of the presidents who had gone before me like Washington, Lincoln, etc., but the history that I was making myself and bringing with me and which I would leave behind for future generations. I remember the moment with crystal clarity. It was February 6, 2016, the birthday of singer Celine Dion. Is that how we say her name?
Celine Dion?
Celine Dion. And former Major League slugger Jose Canseco, as well as Liberation Day in the Philippines. The weather in the nation's capital was cold and clear, with some high scattered clouds forming around sundown, and the daytime high temperature hovered around 17 degrees Fahrenheit, or about -10 degrees Celsius. Fortunately, the winds were mild at 9 to 12 miles per hour and from the northeast. The dew point was more or less irrelevant since the relative humidity was an exceptionally low 6%. As I began to walk the short distance from the office in the Eisenhower Executive Office building that I had been using as vice president to the Oval Office in the world-famous, quote, West Wing, unquote, I reflected upon the much longer journey that had brought me to this historic moment. A journey that had begun some 47 years ago in rural suburban Maryland, where a little girl with the unusual and occasionally unfortunate name of Selina, it had proved just a little too close to Smellina for some second graders, was born and raised. For those of you who have never had the pleasure of visiting Eastern Maryland, Centerville is as all-American as apple pie on the 4th of July. Our neighborhood was a true melting pot of religions, everything from Methodist to Episcopalian. Races, it seemed like half the diplomatic corps lived within half a mile. And political beliefs, be they Democrat or Republican. We had bankers, we had doctors, we had businessmen, We had small businessmen. We had people who took care of horses. Pretty much every profession under the sun was represented. Service was a way of life in our town, service to the country and service to community. Every year, dozens of candidates would step.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?